Hello, and welcome to my first ever video log. Do I look tired to you? There may be a reason for that, and that's because I had an idea which has been keeping me awake and rather preoccupied for the last few days. So I had this idea when lockdown started in the UK. I think it was the 23rd of March. I thought I need to do something for all the musicians out there because it was already apparent that we weren't going to be earning any money for a long time. But at the same time, I had a to-do list as long as my arm. My to-do list is crazy. I was shuffling stuff down to the bottom for like 10 years, not getting around to doing things. So on day one of lockdown, I'd had this idea, but then I thought, no, shove it to one side. Let's get this other stuff out of the way first. So the idea was to do an isolated recording with all the fantastic musicians that I've had the opportunity of working with for the last, 30 years now? Actually no longer than that, because some of these guys were in the very first school band that I played with. So that's 40 years ago. And within 24 hours or something, everyone's been doing isolated recordings. There's a lot of parodies going around as well. I really didn't want to jump on that bandwagon with this. I wanted to do something that the musicians can be proud of, something that I can be proud of, and sort of promote the bands that I play in as well. As musicians, we're all self-employed, and I just knew that this was going to hit us all pretty hard and possibly for a long time.
It's going to go away.
The pubs were closing, the venues were closing. I was hearing stories on Facebook from friends that were losing thousands of pounds worth of work. So I really wanted to do something to kind of celebrate the musicians that I've worked with, really. And if nothing else, just have a bit of fun and something hopefully that will make us a bit stronger when we come out of all this. And the song choice that came to me was instant. Don't You Worry About a Thing by Stevie Wonder. Now, in no way did I want this to make light of the situation. It's utterly horrendous, but it's an upbeat song. It's a fun song. It's something that everyone can sing. Musicians love playing it. It's got that Latin, summery, feel-good vibe that I just hope is going to put a few smiles on faces. I'm thinking about you guys in the NHS, the emergency services, everyone that's trying to keep this country together and keep us going and keep us safe in what feels like something out of an apocalyptic movie or something. So on the 1st of April, I started going through my Facebook friends to find all the musicians that I'd worked with, and I was finding people from the very first school band that I played with, the first band that I properly auditioned for when I left school, people from the music college I studied at, and there's people from pub bands, function bands, theatre shows. It's gonna be epic. So I was going through my friends list and thinking, well, I can't leave him out if I've got him in. I love working with this guy and I love her singing and his playing. So I ended up emailing 160 people thinking, well, who's going to come back? Who's going to be interested, really? But within the hour, I was getting emails literally flying in, one after the other, saying how keen everyone was. So it was really exciting for me to know that everyone was up for it. I even sent a few very cheeky emails to some top professionals that I've been associated with, but maybe quite loosely. One of those is the top jazz vocalist in the UK, sensational Mr. Ian Shaw. He used to take the mass vocal workshops at my college, like 3 or 4 year groups at a time. So for him to remember me would be really unusual. But no, he came straight back and said, let me know what you need. I've got the amazing saxophonist Andy Scott. Seth Tackerbury, I'm really excited about, a bass player who's studying with my son at the Royal Academy at the moment. Is just a phenomenal player and was in the final of Young Jazz Musician of the Year 2019. Dave Wallace, who I play in a Stevie Wonder tribute band with. Dave has worked with David Essex and the Osmonds. We've got Katie Holmes-Smith, who I used to do function gigs with, but has since gone on to sing backing vocals for Adele and Christina Aguilera. Steve Turner is a frightening keyboard player and string arranger for the Electric Light Orchestra. Honestly, I could go on because all the musicians that are involved are just utterly amazing. And I'm just going to be sad that I can't feature as much of them as I'd like, because we've got 5 minutes to squeeze probably 130, 140 musicians now into this recording. So day one was just crazy with emails flying in, messages coming in from everywhere. And I think after the first hour, I was up to like 40 or 50 people. By the end of the day, I think it was 60 or 70. So I set up a Facebook group to manage all the members. I thought it was a good way of keeping people in touch and engaged in what's going on, really. I don't want people to lose heart because it might be a while till we get round to recording the vocalists and what have you. After day 3, I think we're over 100 members with still a few invites outstanding as well, and quite a few people that I'm dealing with outside of Facebook. It's just going crazy. I've got no idea what I'm in for in terms of editing and getting the sound and the video together. but I just love it. Day 2, just lots of messages coming in, but I started thinking about the arrangement of the piece. We're going to use the live recording from the Live at Last tour by Stevie Wonder as the basis for the arrangement. The Stevie tribute band that I play in, Wonder Band, has played this for a good while, but I also want to extend it a little bit so that we can feature some of the rock musicians, and there's quite a few jazzers as well. So I've kind of introduced sections where different types of musician can shine, and hopefully that's going to work. It's going to be difficult to see how anything's going to work until the audio and the video starts coming in. I guess that's kind of exciting, trying to put it all together. And then I started building a spreadsheet. The musicians were piling in, even just fitting 130, 140 musicians within 5 minutes of video is going to be an enormous challenge, but I'm going to have to dish out those sections and hope I don't upset too many people. So the idea was to get Dave Wallace, who plays with me in Wonder Band, to lay down the drums for the entire track to start with, and then we'll replace some of those sections with other drummers. I think I've got 14 drummers in total, but 6 of those, a couple of sort of percussion specialists anyway, and a few of those also don't have any kit at home at the moment and nothing to record. So I think I'm going to try and get them involved in percussion. Hopefully that should record reasonably well on a phone, and we can drop those bits in. So I'm left with 8 drummers to share out this song with. It's going to be difficult trying to match up those drum sounds and parts, but hopefully we'll find a way to make it fairly smooth and not too jarring between the sections. There's also a guy called Tim Sharp who resides in Finland, who I'm going to get to lay down the jazz swing section of the piece. So I've prepared a click track for Dave and Tim to work to, with a vocal guide in it from me, which is dreadful. There's little bits of singing and stuff just to let them know where we are. Verse. Everybody's got a thing. So hopefully in a day or two I'll get the recordings back, and I can stitch together the entire drum track ready for the bass players to get involved. Yesterday I put a chart together, just a chord chart really, but it's not the easiest arrangement. There's quite a few complex chords in there, and so I did get that checked over as well by a fantastic bass player called Joe Britton. He corrected me on 1 or 2 things, and I wanted to think ahead to the video a little bit, and again, how am I going to fit all these people on the screen? So I thought I'd do a stage layout, and I'll do a number of these for each section of the song so that it all looks neat and tidy, and I won't have to worry too much about cropping and placing things within Final Cut Pro. I can just put the mask on and pop the video images behind those. Hopefully that's going to work and save a bit of time. So today it's the 4th of April. The sun's going to be going down pretty soon, so I think I want to try and get a walk in. But it's quite exciting today because I'm waiting for the tracks from Tim and Dave so we can get that drum track stuck together, ready for the drummers to do their thing, and I'm so excited about what's going to come back from people. I will keep you updated and see you back here soon. Thank you very much.